I froze, my heart pounding louder than the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. Alex, the guy who'd been my rock through every scraped knee, every failed test, every heartbreak, he was kissing me. Me, Cooper Hayes, the quiet kid from suburban Chicago who'd spent years burying my feelings for him under layers of bro hugs and late-night video games. The metallic tang of sweat hung in the air, mixed with the faint scent of his cologne, and I pulled back, gasping. "What the hell, man?" I stammered, wiping my mouth with the back of my hand, though every fiber of me wanted to dive back in. We were in the old gym at Lincoln High, our alma mater, even though we'd graduated 3 years ago. I'd come back to town for Thanksgiving break from college in New York, and Alex had dragged me here for a pickup basketball game, just like old times. The place hadn't changed. Peeling paint on the lockers, the faint echo of sneakers squeaking on the court, but everything else had. Alex stepped back, his green eyes wide with panic, his broad shoulders slumping under his faded Bulls jersey. "Coop, I'm sorry. I didn't plan this, but seeing you again after all this time, it just hit me." I leaned against the cold metal locker, my mind racing. Alex Thompson had always been the golden boy, star quarterback, prom king, the one every girl in school swooned over. And me? I was the sidekick, the artist with a sketchbook under his arm, hiding my sketches of him in secret folders. I'd come out to him freshman year of college over a blurry FaceTime call, expecting awkwardness or worse, but he just grinned and said, "Cool, man. Doesn't change a thing." Except now it had changed everything. We sat on the bench, the silence thick as fog rolling off Lake Michigan. "Talk to me," I finally said, my voice barely above a whisper. Alex ran a hand through his messy blonde hair, the same gesture he'd made 1,000 times before big games. "I've been dating Sarah for 2 years, you know that. She's great, smart, funny, the whole package. But lately, I don't know, co-op. When you're around, it's like the world sharpens. Colors are brighter. And when you're gone, it's just gray." My stomach twisted. Sarah was his high school sweetheart, now at Northwestern studying pre-med. They'd been the perfect couple, the ones everyone envied. "So what? You're bi? Gay? What does this mean?" I asked, trying to keep my tone steady. But inside, hope and fear waged war. He shook his head. "I don't know labels. All I know is I think about you. A lot. That time we camped in the Ozarks last summer, lying under the stars. I wanted to hold your hand so bad it hurt." I remembered that night vividly. The crackle of the fire, the way his laughter filled the darkness. I chalked up my butterflies to wishful thinking. Now, here he was, confessing in a dingy locker room that smelled of old socks and dreams deferred. "Alex, this could ruin everything," I warned, but my hand found his anyway, fingers intertwining like they'd always belonged there. We talked for hours, the gym lights flickering as dusk fell outside. He told me about the doubts that had crept in during college. Parties where he'd felt out of place, dates with Sarah that left him empty. I shared my own struggles. The loneliness of being out in a big city, the hookups that never filled the void he'd left. By the time we left, the air between us hummed with possibility. We drove back to his parents' house in his beat-up Jeep, the Chicago skyline twinkling in the distance. "Promise me we'll figure this out," he said, parking in the driveway. I nodded, leaning in for a tentative kiss that tasted like promise and peril. The next few days blurred into a whirlwind. Thanksgiving dinner with our families. His folks and mine had been neighbors forever, was awkward bliss. We'd steal glances across the table, our knees brushing under the cloth. Sarah was there too, oblivious, chattering about her classes. Guilt gnawed at me, but Alex's texts under the table, "Can't stop thinking about you," made my pulse race. We snuck away that night to Wrigley Field, empty and ghostly in the off-season. Under the iconic scoreboard, he pulled me into the shadows. "I want this, co-op us." His kiss was deeper this time, hands roaming with newfound urgency. I melted into him, the wind whipping through the bleachers like applause. But as we drove home, doubt crept in. "What about Sarah?" I asked. He sighed. "I'll end it. Soon. I promise." Back at college, the distance amplified everything. Late-night calls turned intimate, whispers of "I miss you," evolving into shared fantasies. I sketched him endlessly. His smile, his eyes, the curve of his neck. Christmas break loomed, and with it, the promise of more stolen moments. But then the call came. "Coop, I told her," Alex said, his voice raw. "It was messy," she cried. "Accused me of using her as a cover." My heart ached for her, but selfishly relief flooded me. "It's okay. We're free now." He arrived in New York for New Year's, snow blanketing the city like a fresh start. We wandered Central Park, hand in hand, the world fading away. In my tiny dorm room, we explored each other for the first time. Tentative touches turning passionate, bodies entwining in a dance we'd both craved. "I love you," he murmured against my skin, and I believed him. But love, I learned, isn't always enough. Spring brought cracks. Alex's parents, staunch conservatives from the heartland, started asking questions. "Why'd you break up with Sarah? She's perfect for you." He dodged, but the pressure built. At school, whispers followed him. Former teammates side-eyeing him in the halls. "Dude, you okay?" Heard some rumors. I tried to be supportive, flying home for weekends when I could. One night, in his childhood bedroom, posters of Michael Jordan still on the walls, he broke down. "What if this costs me everything, Coop? My family, my friends." I held him, whispering assurances, but fear lingered like Chicago's winter chill. Summer hit like a heat wave. We road tripped to California, top down on the Jeep, blasting Springsteen. Highway 66 stretched endless, mirroring our hopes. In a motel in Arizona, under starry skies, we made love with abandon. "This is forever," he said. I wanted to believe it. But back home, reality crashed in. Alex got a job at his dad's firm, construction, manly work. The guys there were rough, jokes laced with slurs. He started pulling away, texts sporadic. "Busy, babe. Miss you." I sensed the shift, like storm clouds gathering over the lake. Then the betrayal. I surprised him for his birthday, showing up unannounced. Walking into the bar where his party was, I saw him, arm around Sarah, laughing like old times. My world tilted. She spotted me first, eyes widening. "Cooper? What are you doing here?" Alex turned, face paling. "Coop, it's not what it looks like." But it was. They'd reconciled, or at least pretended to, for appearances. "I panicked," he confessed later, in the parking lot under pouring rain. "Dad found out about us, threatened to cut me off. I told him it was a phase, that I was back with her." Pain sliced through me, sharper than any knife. "A phase? That's what we are." Tears mixed with rain on my face. He reached for me, but I stepped back. "I love you, but I can't lose everything." His words echoed, hollow. I drove away that night, heart shattered, the city lights blurring through my windshield. Back in New York, I threw myself into art, channeling the ache into canvases of stormy seas and broken bridges. Months passed, seasons changing like flipping pages. Fall brought crisp air and unexpected calls. Alex's number flashed on my screen, but I ignored it, wounds too fresh. Friends urged me to move on. Dates with cute guys from class, gallery openings where I sold my first piece. But echoes of him lingered. A song on the radio, a whiff of cologne in a crowd. One evening, as leaves swirled on Brooklyn streets, my phone buzzed insistently. "Coop, please. It's important." His voice sounded broken, different. Against better judgment, I answered. "What do you want, Alex?" "I'm in the hospital." My blood ran cold. "What? Why?" "Car accident. Drunk driver hit me on the interstate." "I'm okay, but can you come?" Panic surged. I booked the next flight to Chicago, mind racing with worst-case scenarios. At the hospital, he looked small in the bed, bruises blooming on his face, arm in a sling. His parents hovered, faces etched with worry. "Cooper, thank God you're here," his mom said, hugging me tightly. She'd always treated me like a second son. Alex's eyes lit up when he saw me. "You came." I nodded, throat tight. "Of course." We talked through the night, nurses coming and going. He confessed everything. The fear after our fight, drowning sorrows in beer with old buddies, the drive home that nearly ended it all. "I almost died without telling you the truth," he whispered. "That night with Sarah? It was a setup. Dad pushed me to prove I was straight, but I couldn't go through with it. We just talked co-op. She's the one who told me to fight for you." Doubt warred with hope. Why didn't you say so? He sighed. Pride. Fear. But this accident. It woke me up. Life's too short for hiding. His parents overheard, exchanges glances. To my shock, his dad cleared his throat. Son, we don't understand all this. But seeing you like this, we just want you happy. It wasn't full acceptance, but a crack in the armor. Recovery was slow. I stayed in Chicago, helping with physical therapy. Walks along the lakefront where wind whipped our faces. Conversations deepened about identity, family, the American dream that sometimes felt like a cage. Growing up here, in the Midwest, it's all about fitting in, Alex said one day, leaning on his crutch. Football, girls, beer. But you showed me there's more. I opened up too, about my own internalized shame, the times I'd wished to be normal. Loving you made me face it all. Our bond reformed, stronger, forged in fire. But conflicts lingered. Alex's friends distanced themselves, whispers of fag echoing in bars. One night, at a local dive, a former teammate confronted him. Heard you're batting for the other team now, Thompson? With your buddy Coop. Fists clenched, but Alex stood tall. Yeah, I am. Got a problem. The guy backed off, but the tension hung heavy. I worried it'd break him. We can move, I suggested. New York? Fresh start. He considered, but roots ran deep. This is home. I want to change it, not run. Thanksgiving came again, a year since the locker room kiss. This time we hosted, our families together, tentative but warm. Alex held my hand openly, a small act of defiance. His dad even cracked a joke, awkward but genuine. Winter deepened, snow blanketing the city. We volunteered at a LGBTQ center, helping kids like us navigate coming out. This is bigger than us, Alex said, eyes shining. Pride swelled in me. He transformed from scared boy to advocate. But betrayal's shadow loomed. Sarah called one day. Alex didn't tell you everything. My heart sank. What? That night at the bar? He kissed me. Said he was confused. Rage boiled. I confronted him in our apartment. We'd moved in together post-hospital. Is it true? He nodded, tears streaming. I was drunk, scared. It meant nothing. I stopped it immediately. Pain resurfaced, trust fractured. How can I believe you? We argued, words like weapons. You're still hiding parts of yourself, I yelled. He fired back. And you're pushing me too fast. The door slammed as I stormed out, wandering snowy streets, questioning everything. Days blurred into silence. I crashed with a friend, sketching furiously. Portraits of Alex, fractured and whole. Then, a knock. Him, bundled against the cold, holding a letter. Read it. It was to his parents, coming out fully. I'm gay. I love Cooper. This is who I am. My eyes welled. I mailed copies to everyone, friends, work. No more hiding. We reconciled in tears, bodies colliding in forgiveness. I messed up, but I'll spend forever making it right. Love reignited, passionate and pure. Spring bloomed, bringing renewal. Alex quit his dad's firm, started coaching at a progressive school, mentoring queer youth. I got a gallery show, pieces inspired by our journey selling out. But life threw curveballs. His dad had a heart attack, stress, doctor said. At the bedside, Alex held his hand. I love you, Dad, but I won't change. The old man nodded weakly. Proud of you, son. Healing began. Summer returned and we revisited the Ozarks, tent pitched under stars. Remember our first camp? I asked. He smiled. How could I forget? That's when I fell for you. We made plans, marriage someday, kids maybe. But for now, this was enough. In America's heartland, two boys found love against odds. Yet, as fall approached, new storms brewed. Alex's advocacy drew attention. A local news feature on LGBTQ rights in schools. Praise poured in, but so did hate. Anonymous letters, slashed tires, threats scrawled on our door. Fags go to hell. Fear gripped us. Maybe we should lay low, I suggested, but Alex shook his head. That's what they want. We fight. His resolve inspired, but anxiety gnawed. One night, walking home from a rally, shadows moved. 3 guys jumped us. Punches flying, slurs hurled. I fought back, adrenaline surging, but they overpowered. Alex took the worst, shielding me. Sirens wailed as cops arrived, assailants fleeing. In the ER, stitches and bruises, we held each other. "This is the price," he murmured, "for being us." The attack made headlines. Local gay couple assaulted in hate crime. Support flooded, vigils, donations. But trauma lingered. Nightmares plagued Alex, flinching at loud noises. I became overprotective, arguments flaring. "You can't save the world alone. And you can't hide forever." Therapy helped, sessions unpacking layers. "Growing up American means chasing freedom," our counselor said. "But for some, it's a battle. We learn to communicate, vulnerabilities shared." Betrayal struck again, from within. A friend, Mark, from high school, outed Alex to the press for clout, twisting stories. Thompson's secret life, from QB to queer. Tabloids feasted, family bombarded. Alex crumbled. Why? I trusted him. I held him as he sobbed, rage boiling in me. We sued for defamation, but damage done. His coaching job hung by a thread, parents fielding calls. In the chaos, our love deepened. Quiet nights cooking pasta in our kitchen, dancing to old records. "You're my anchor," he said. I kissed him. "And you're my sail." Winter's grip tightened, holidays subdued. But a surprise. His dad, recovered, organized a family meeting. "We've been wrong," he admitted. "Seeing what you've endured. We're with you." Tears flowed, bridges mended. Spring brought highs. My art career soared. A solo exhibit in Chicago, themes of love and resilience. Alex spoke at conferences, voice strong. We traveled to San Francisco for Pride, rainbow flags waving, feeling part of something bigger. But personal storms persisted. Alex confessed lingering doubts. "Sometimes I wonder if I'm truly gay, or just in love with you." Honesty stung, but we navigated. Labels don't matter. We do. Summer peaked with a road trip east, New York to Boston, exploring routes. In a Cape Cod beach house, waves crashing, he proposed. "Marry me, co-op. Through all this mess, you're my constant." On one knee, ring glinting, tears in his eyes. "Yes?" I whispered, pulling him up for a kiss salted by sea air. Joy exploded, plans whirlwind, venue in Chicago, friends and family. But fate twisted. Weeks before the wedding, Alex's health faltered. Fatigue, bruises, tests revealed leukemia. From the accident? Stress. Doctors shrugged. Sometimes it just happens. World shattered. Chemo sessions, hair falling in clumps. But his spirit fierce. "We'll beat this," he vowed, hand in mine. I quit jobs, devoted to him, reading books, watching Cubs games on TV. Friends rallied, Sarah too. Forgiven, now an ally. "He's lucky to have you." Nights in hospital, I sketched him sleeping, capturing strength amid fragility. Remission seemed possible, but complications arose. "I love you more than stars," he said one night, weak but smiling. "Promise you'll live fully." He slipped away on a crisp fall morning, leaves turning gold outside. Heartbroken, I held his hand till the end. Funeral packed, teammates, activists, family. Eulogies celebrated his courage. Grief consumed me. Back in New York, apartment empty, I wandered galleries, sketches gathering dust. But slowly healing. I founded a foundation in his name, supporting queer youth in sports. Years passed. 30, I met someone gentle, kind. But Alex remained my first love, the surprise in the locker room that reshaped me. Visiting Chicago, I stopped at the gym. Lockers unchanged, echoes of that kiss. "Thanks for the moment I'll never forget," I whispered. Life moved on, but his legacy endured, love's triumph over fear, in the land of the free. In the aftermath, America's vastness felt both comforting and isolating. I threw myself into the foundation, Alex Thompson Youth Alliance, organizing camps where queer kids played sports without judgment. "This is for you," I'd tell them, sharing our story, tears inevitable. One kid, Jamie, reminded me of young Alex, blonde hair, fierce eyes. "How do you keep going after losing him?" he asked. "Because love doesn't die. It transforms." Words healed me too. Art became therapy. A series, Locker Room Confessions, sold nationally, proceeds funding scholarships. Critics praised the raw emotion, vulnerability in brushstrokes, romance in shadows. Family bonds strengthened. Alex's parents became advocates, speaking at events. We lost a son, but gained a cause, his dad said, voice steady. New love bloomed cautiously. Ethan, a teacher from Brooklyn, met at a fundraiser. Dark hair, warm smile, different from Alex, which helped. Dates turned serious, laughter filling voids. I know he'll always be part of you, Ethan said. That's okay. We married in Central Park, simple ceremony. Alex's ring on a chain around my neck, a silent blessing. Honeymoon in the Ozarks, stars witnessing. But memories surged. Anniversaries brought ache. Thanksgiving dinners with toasts to him. To surprises that change everything. Decades later, at 50, I retired to a cabin by Lake Michigan. Grandkids, adopted with Ethan, visited, hearing tales. Grandpa Cooper and Uncle Alex, the locker room heroes. One evening, watching sunset, peace settled. Our story, Kitsch Tin Twists, Kamsuck Depths, Langman Sparks, Nan Van Lessons, echoed America's spirit. Flawed, resilient, ever-evolving. In quiet moments, I felt him. Miss you, best friend. Wind whispered back, carrying love eternal. The end wasn't happy ever after, but meaningful. In betrayal's wake, forgiveness. In loss, purpose. That's the American way, turning pain into progress.